Do you want to create an effective return to work strategy? Over the last year, the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted everyone's day-to-day routines. With continued mass distribution of vaccines, our time of remote work in sweatpants and makeshift home offices is coming to an end. However, our return to the office doesn't necessarily signal a return to pre-pandemic normal. In fact, our return will come with some very necessary changes. Recognizing your company's circumstances and working from there to find the best way to maintain efficiency will help your business stay successful. I'm Noel with Jotform. Stay tuned and we'll dive into some helpful tips you'll need to create an effective return to work strategy. Before the pandemic, you wanted to keep your office space as clean as possible. In our post-pandemic world, clean takes on a whole new meaning. In your return to work strategy, account for the ways you'll protect against COVID-19, including taking some steps to ensure surfaces in common areas are disinfected. You should also arrange your meeting rooms for social distancing and also consider rearranging your office layout to optimize spacing based on health guidelines. Give a little extra attention to the areas in your office where your employees tend to congregate the most, like elevators and break rooms. Sanitizing these areas goes a long way toward assuring your employees that you've done everything you can to ensure their safety. An employee who feels unsafe may not be very productive, so ensuring cleanliness in your office will have long-lasting benefits. Next in your return to work strategy is being consistent as it comes to communicating with your employees. If you tell them it's time to come back to the office without consulting them about their needs and preferences, your culture is going to suffer. Instead, keep lines of communication with your employees open. Ask employees for input about new office design plans, their comfort level being around others, and their preferences for individual workspaces. Seeking employee input might bring up ideas you hadn't considered yet. Plus, by including employees in this process, they'll feel like active stakeholders in your efforts to make your space as safe as possible. Coming back to the office isn't going to be seamless. One way to ease this process, as the CDC recommends, is putting up signs that remind both employees and visitors of proper protocols and policies. This signage can be anything from illustrating the right way to wash hands to providing tips on how to keep personal and shared office spaces clean. It can also mean reminding your employees to inform you about their out-of-office activities like traveling and visiting crowded spaces. It could be helpful to hold meetings that educate workers on the new policies. It's also important to make yourself available to employees who want to learn more about the new policies and procedures. The more transparent you are, the more confident your employees will be in your efforts to keep them safe. Establishing mutual trust is key to having a successful return to work strategy. Unvaccinated employees can present additional roadblocks to keeping offices safe. With 57% of employees preferring mandatory vaccinations before returning to the office, you have an opportunity to make sure your employees are looking out for one another. With that, your employees should be aware that they're ultimately responsible for their decisions. Also, keep in mind that when your employees return to the office, they might need a grace period to adjust to new rules. Things have changed quite a bit since the last time you were all in the office. Putting your best foot forward by encouraging them to follow the rules shows you're considering their well-being and helps smooth the transition. With these new procedures put into place, you'll need to establish a system to track how they're following them. And if you're saving records, you'll need a place to store them. That's where Jotform comes in. From self-declaration forms, self-screening questionnaires, and return-to-work forms, Jotform offers a variety of forms designed for the post-pandemic workplace. This way, you can curb the spread of the virus in the office and identify any issues if they arise. Even better, the Jotform Form Builder can integrate with software you already use like Google Drive and Airtable. Keeping good records is as important as implementing the right health measures. With Jotform, you can make sure you stay organized throughout your transition back to the office. It's important to consider every variable if you're going to successfully execute your return to work strategy. Safeguarding employee health and outfitting your office to protect against the virus is just the beginning. Monitoring your employees' choices in and out of the office and encouraging them to get vaccinated goes a long way. Your plan should also extend to office visitors. Being vigilant about COVID-19 safety from all angles is the only way to keep your office protected. After many months of solitary work, returning to the office will be exciting for you, your employees, and visitors. With the right strategies and record keeping, your business will still run like a well-oiled and healthy machine. Let's do a quick recap. When creating your return to work strategy, it's important to prep your office space with necessary cleaning and social distancing requirements. Next, create open lines of communication with your employees. Doing so will include employees in your return process and make them feel like active stakeholders. You'll also want to provide educational material that will remind both employees and visitors of proper protocols and policies. Next, establish a mutual trust with all your employees. Keep proper records like vaccination documentation or self-declaration forms. And lastly, leave no stone unturned when it comes to safeguarding your business as a whole. Monitor employees' choices in and out of the office. By following these simple steps, your post-pandemic office will once again be a safe environment for employees and visitors alike. Thanks for watching Jotform. I'm Noel. We'll see you next time.